Hi there.
So, first of all, I think we should pay tribute to the truly wonderful Barbara Windsor before we go any further. I worked with her many times, and she was, what can I say? She was a powerhouse. She was funny. The stories were endless, and some of them quite outrageous, I have to say, but truly, truly wonderful. And she had such presence on stage, and she will be remembered. She'll always twinkle. That laugh, I can hear it now. And I also want to send much, much love to Scott, who was the most brilliant husband ever. And, you know, I you know, pray he finds some peace now. But he was truly wonderful. But Barbara will never, ever be forgotten. That is for sure.
Absolutely. No, she's part of our, you know, tapestry, isn't she?
Our DNA.
And she's one of those. And I'm so glad, you know, Dame Barbara, she was brilliant. And I was lucky enough. I mean, I've known her since I was a child, because actually she knew my mum very well.
Yeah.
Then we ended up in EastEnders together, you know, many years later. So it's big circle. But she is truly wonderful. And I send you all my love, Scott. You were fantastic and loved her very much.
Absolutely. And I remember meeting her with my mum, actually, at Pinewood, and having lunch with her and Gerald Thomas, the director of the Carry On films.
Yeah,
of course.
And I mean, all of that amazing legacy. I mean, it's just incredible. And she was a real star, wasn't she? I mean,
absolutely. I never knew her, but I served her in Joe Allen's. I remember with Danny LaRue was there, Barbara, everyone was in. And Kenneth, I think, as well. And I met her lots of times socially afterwards. But I thought also the fact that she came out about her Alzheimer's is the most amazing and wonderful thing, because it takes away that fear and prejudice and all of the things that go with it. And to be out there and still be doing messages last week to people, I thought was the most amazing thing.
Absolutely. And helped so many people because of that. Yeah.
Very important.
I know. God bless you, Barbara.
God bless you. And Scott. Girls, it is very sad, but you know, we're coming up to Christmas now, and so many great things are happening. And actually last night I tried on an outfit, and you know, like you put on a little bit of weight in lockdown, and I just saw this, it was an all-in-one jumpsuit, and I saw this knicker line.
No.
And I phoned my guru friend, who is actually 81. And she said to me, darling, just wear a thong. Just wear a thong. I don't know about you, though. I just cannot get on with thongs.
No. Cheese grater.
Yes. Going for a thong. Going for a thong.
Oh, why would anybody wear a thong? I don't get it.
Well,
I think it's the knicker line, darling. It's so you have no knicker lines. And there was a time when dancing in a show, I didn't want a knicker line, and I thonged away. But again, those days are long gone, and I let go of the thong.
Yes.
Let go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Also, can I just mention that I have a cardboard cup of coffee this afternoon, and it's because I'm away working, but I can't say what or where or when. Just saying. I needed to explain my cup. I needed to explain, because I knew there'd be letters. There'd be letters, there'd be complaints. You know, I had to explain it.
Listen, but let's go back to the thong. So my kids wear.
She's going back.
Your daughters wear thongs?
Yes, I think so.
I suppose so. Yeah.
You see, perhaps it's an age thing, because I could never get on with them. Because why do you want that thing sticking up your bottom? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
I wear high-legged knickers.
Yes, I do.
Always.
I prefer those. But what about, did your mum buy you like Bridget Jones knickers? Because my mum always did.
School knickers were like giant things that came up over your
back. My boarding school, we had knicker linings and knickers over the top.
Excuse me, rewind.
Well, we had knicker linings.
At your boarding school, you had knicker linings.
We had knicker linings, and then we had knickers over the top. So we had like regulation school knickers. I am not lying. Anyone who went to Lilston School will tell you. We had regulation school knickers, but we had knicker linings underneath.
And also, how attractive, because you're all too young, but I do remember the Liberty bodice.
What was that?
So you had a Liberty bodice with little buttons and big knickers. Very attractive, and that's only when I was 25.
Darling. We could all use a Liberty bodice now then.
I love
Yes,
Liberty bodices.
It held you in like that.
They're brilliant.
So no boy could ever see what was under it.
And
Well,
now
hold
everybody
Well,
uses
Sherry,
Spanx, don't they?
Sherry, I think we should bring them back because
Liberty
I think they're
bodice.
lovely.
No
Very
thanks.
very pretty,
They
a
are.
Liberty bodice. Yes.
Yeah.
And now everybody wears Spanx. Do you wear Spanx? Do you wear the control underwear?
Yes, yes.
Fantastic.
I do, but
Yeah.
I find them really uncomfortable though, and very kind of restrictive and very kind of, you know, I mean, I've often been in a shop and had to go into the loo and get them off.
It does take half an hour to wedge them up all the way up.
Yeah.
It does take a long
Yes,
time.
yes.
And getting out of them is equally painful.
I
And
tell
then
you
there's
what
the
I
spillage.
do. I don't. Well, you probably don't do this, Debbie and Harriet, but Dee and I probably do. I
Yes.
can't bear bras. I can't bear
Yes.
them. And I'm very good at being in a restaurant or anywhere and being able to take it off in the. Do you do
Yeah.
that, Dee?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
get
have
it
done.
off. I'm very good at that.
If
I
Harriet
always
and I
do
did
this,
that,
Yes.
if Harriet and I did that,
Don't.
the whole restaurant would explode. I mean, we'd go, boom.
Darling, I would be on my knees with the G-force, so it's not happening.
And I was saying, talking about sexy underwear, our next
Yeah.
guest, well, I actually spent nearly 2 weeks in bed with our next guest, making a film with him, which is very strange because we've known each other for many, many years before. And it's quite weird to end up being in a film with somebody that you know very well, having a
Yes.
very strange relationship. And he's an actor that you all know very, very well. And he is the wonderful, fantastic John Altman. Hello, darling.
Hi, thanks. Hi, girls. How you doing?
Welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to
I
see you.
was telling the girls that you and I spent a week in bed together.
Yeah, a week I will always remember. Somewhere in the home counties, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was in the Chilterns. And
Yes,
then I tied you to the bed. And then I murdered you.
You did. You shot me in the end. I've actually got the dressing gown here. I've still got it. It's really well made. There it is.
Oh,
That's the dressing gown. There's no blood on it anymore. I had it cleaned. And also during that shoot, Debbie, you were so sweet because it was based at Pinewood. You organised for, I think, you and I don't know if anybody else got one, but I'll hold it up too. Look, a deck chair.
Yeah, with your name
With
on.
our names on the back,
Oh,
which I'd always
lovely.
wanted, you know. So, and I actually used it another time when I was shooting a video with a girl rock band on Bodmin Moor. So it got used again.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if you girls have ever heard of them. They're called Joan of Arc. Yeah, but anyway,
No.
talk about the music later. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. But John, we've had some real adventures together, and the most recent one was last year when we saw the Aurora Borealis.
Gosh, we've had some adventures together, haven't we? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you suddenly realise, don't you? It's like, you I've known you for years and years. You know, you forget how much we've actually, from way back, wasn't it? Probably about 30 years ago now, when we and our children were tiny, running around, shouting.
It was
and
so
making a
weird.
mess.
And no one really knew you. I mean, I was saying to the girls as well that, I mean, Nick Cotton, you know, is such an iconic character, but you are so different to that. And your eyes, John, are so gorgeous and sexy, and nobody ever saw those eyes. And that lovely smile.
But you did in bed, though, Debbie, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You
But we
saw it
filmed
all.
Yeah,
excuse
we
me,
did.
can I ask? It's very important. What is the name of the film?
Oh yes, it was called Photo Shoot. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
because I think there's going to
And,
be a big resurgence of photo
Oh,
shoots.
please.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
out
have it
there.
on. Yes, let's see it.
Okay.
I'd certainly watch it now.
I can't.
Quite a low budget, but I didn't think it was that bad actually. It was quite good because considering
Well,
it was low budget.
at least we had fun doing it, but we had more fun on the Aurora Borealis last year.
Oh wow!
Because
wow.
we were on a lovely saga cruise. We were on a soap cruise, and John was there, and it was just brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was my birthday as well.
Yeah.
And on the
Oh.
cruise, in showbiz life, as you all know, you get times when it's kind of lockdown. Really, I people say, how do you cope with the lockdown? So well, it's a bit like being an out of work actor. You know?
It is.
Yeah.
I've been training up for that for 40 years, so no problem. But yeah, it was wonderful. I got the news that I was going to do the Marigold Hotel when we were on board, and you, Debbie, organised a treasure that I have. I'm not going to move my laptop around. I can't pick it up. But Debbie bought me this beautiful globe, which is amazing. And it's on a stand, and for my birthday this was, and it's on a stand, and it reacts to the gravity of the Earth. and it turns the same time as the Earth is turning. This globe.
Wow.
And you can hold it in your hand, and it will turn while you even hold it in your hand. So I put it in a special place on my window list.
Well, you have a special place in my heart, John.
Yeah, well, I'll always treasure that. Thank you, Debbie. A long way at last.
Well, certainly in bed, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I look forward to the next time, Debbie.
Okay.
Oh.
Been a
John,
while.
I want to touch on EastEnders, of course, today, because
Yes.
it's a very, very special day with Barbara passing, and somebody that we will, we all worked with and all remember. And what are your memories?
Well, I used to go in and out of the program, as you know, and every time I went back, she was there. She'd be, hey, Johnny, got to see you, big hug. You know what she was like, great to have you back, darling, And so over the years, things that we did, like she came to Kingston one time with June Brown, and we did a big charity night for the Rose Theatres. They're trying to raise funds.
Yeah.
And were you there that night, Debbie? I think you were.
Yeah, I was there as well, yeah.
Yeah. So many people came along. And yeah, so she'd do things like that. And I used to go see her and Scott in the West End and in their home there. And the last time I saw her properly was at their home in the West End. And I remember she remembered me. And we had a really nice chat. She gave me a lovely warm hug.
Oh, how lovely.
I sent off a little tweet as you do on days like these, and I've just been thinking of the joyful times I spent with her, and what a, she was what they, in the old terms, would call a real trooper, wasn't she? Came up through
she really was.
From very poor beginnings in the East End through Joan Littlewood. We all pretty much know her story, but kind of known for the carry-ons, but a lot more. It's great that she had the opportunity to be taken seriously as an actress during EastEnders. She turned in pretty powerful performances there. And
very powerful.
Absolutely.
And speaking about, the truly wonderful as well, June Brown.
Oh yeah.
Who I did a very wonderful show with her a few years ago, and I just found her astonishing. I mean, I know we all know how old she is, and there is talk actually about her going back to EastEnders.
Really? Oh.
I mean, but isn't she incredible, John?
Amazing. I mean, yeah, I'm always like, for her age, I'm aghast.
Yeah.
just a phone call. I had the longest phone call of my life with June. 1 hour, 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, how about you know her well?
I was listening to it all as well. I didn't kind of go put the phone down, go in the other room and do some washing. I did start to do a few things after an hour, but I was listening to it.
Oh.
But yeah,
I did this show with her, John, called 100 Years Younger, and it was all about a health thing, and we're not allowed to, have alcohol or anything.
Oh, I know.
And you know how she smokes.
I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, did you? So we got there. Well, I mean, I've spent so many days with her, her incredible stories. And she said to the producer, now look, it may be a health show, but I need my red wine and my fags, so you can forget it. And honest to God, they went, yeah, you're June Brown. You can do anything you want. She's incredible.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. She's.
Oh, and John, I have to say that you've done so many incredible things and still doing amazing acting jobs. But I know that you're a fabulous singer, a musician, and writer, aren't you? Tell us about, you've been in fantastic bands. You've written songs. I know you've got one coming out soon. Tell us about that. And that's one of your big passions, isn't it? Music.
Oh yeah, it's been there for years. Ever since I taught myself to play drums when I was about 14 in the bedroom at home, drumming along to the Shads, so the Shadows and the Who and Hendrix. And then I taught myself. I'm cutting a long story short here. I could talk for hours about the music. Yeah, because it's been there. I taught myself to play guitar along the way, and then I've been in lots of bands, different bands. I joined the Heavy Metal Kids at one point, which was quite bizarre because Gary Holton, an old friend of mine, was once the lead singer with the Heavy Metal Kids, and
that's right.
And the director of Quadrophenia that we were both in once said, "Oh, you look, you could be brothers, you two. We both sort of dark hair and all the rest of it." I was really skinny then, and like he was. And yeah, so I mean, there's a band called Joan of Arc I worked with, and they've actually helped out on the album that I've just done. And here goes the plug. That's the never too
Yay.
late. Never too late to rock and roll.
John, we'll just see a little bit. We'll just see a little bit of your film, of your little video now.
In the night you're there, passing through my dreams. In the morning your face is in the sunrise beams. In my mind you're the first thing before my alarm rings.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah,
Thank you.
Hallucinating You. That's the single. Yeah, yeah. Need to get more airplay. You know, I took copies to the BBC, Capital Radio, etc. But you know, I don't know. You don't know if people get these things sometimes. You know, I've been doing a lot of publicity for it. And you hand it in, it's stamped BBC Internal Mail. You don't know if it just goes into some office and they go, oh no, he won't like that, she won't like that. But you don't know, do you? If you show it.
You don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people found it quite catchy, and I wouldn't have released it otherwise. You know, it was.
John, I can help you. I can put you in touch with somebody who'll help you with that.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
No problem. Because you should actually, it should get airplay. No problem. It's just you have to know the route, and I'll help you.
Oh, thank you so much. That'd be so much appreciated. But it's been a joy. I mean, this came in a box, 100 of these. They're hard copies, but it's mainly available on the streaming platforms. You know, the whole album. And it's kind of about nearly 2 years in the making. Designed.
Wow.
Well, I worked with this guy called Mark Christopher Lee. He's got a band called the Pocket Gods up near St Albans, out in the country there, out in the countryside. And we just met out by chance, like doing a program like this. And we got on really well. I took some recordings. We did one to maybe do a single. We did another one. He said, well, why don't we do an album? And I've always wanted to do an album. So it's one of my dreams come true. So I'm quite proud of it. And it's very, can I say, eclectic mix. There's some rock and roll on there, a bit of blues, you know, and real punky.
Fabulous.
And the title track, Never Too Late to Rock and Roll, is really rocky. And so I'm proud of it, and I want to get it out to more people, really.
Well, I'm sure everyone is going to hear it now because we've got you on here, and everyone will get it, I'm sure. I want to say, I remember first meeting you, and you won't remember. It was at the Gate in Notting Hill, and I'd gone to a comedy night, and I turned round and I saw you. I went, "Oh, hello, darling," and I walked away and thought, I don't know him. I just recognise him. You know that active thing when you think you know people.
I know.
Go, hello, darling. How are you? And I walk myself. Yeah. No. How embarrassing. Anyway, that's when I first met you. You just didn't know.
Was that a movie? The theatre, was it?
It was the theatre, the Fringe Theatre.
I know.
Yeah. And please tell me you remember that moment.
I do. I thought I'd seen you before somewhere.
But I wanted to ask you about your beginnings and your family and your dad and what was your first job and all of that stuff. Where did this all start, John?
Well, I started life in Berkshire. My dad worked in the Bank of England. He was just kind of a clerk there. He could have done a lot more, but he didn't. He wasn't that keen on me doing the acting, and he said, "You can join the Bank of England, my boy. There's a very good drama society." I thought, I don't think that'll really work. Nope. So I struggled away, for years and years. And he kept saying, "When are you going to get a proper job, my boy?" But when I got, as I call it, the dead enders, because he called it that. Because everybody go into the program, they're going to end in disaster, aren't they? Happily married, going to EastEnders. Soon you'll be divorced. Soon you'll have an affair. Somebody will die. You know what it's like with soaps in general. But
go on.
Yeah. He was, so when I got that, it wasn't his thing at all, EastEnders, but he started watching it, and because I was in it, he got hooked on it. He started and watched it till the end of his life, I think. But it wasn't sort of he used to read books. He listened to like jazz and Fat Swallow and people like that. And one time I opened the Seafront Gardens in Herne Bay, and there was a poster at the local newsagent that said "EastEnders star opens Seafront Gardens," and he specially went and put that in a frame. It was great because we were very different in many ways, and it touched my heart because he was at last. At last he was proud of his boy. As my brother too, William, but he's nowhere. We're like chalk and cheese, really. He's more of a sort of technician, and he's into war memorabilia and World War II, and we're just so different, But I got the kind of.
Can I talk about the Marigolds Hotel? What was that like going there?
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that was incredible, wasn't it, Debbie? Because it was 50. I don't know if I told you on the ship. It was 50 years exactly since I'd been to India, And then I got this gig on the Marigold Hotel. And I think they picked me because I hadn't done all the other reality programs. I hadn't done The Jungle or anything like that, so I hadn't been exposed too much. It was a lovely program to do because it's quite gentle. You know, nobody was bitching and backstabbing people, or, you know, there weren't big rows erupting. We were all quite mature and all very different, quite a mix, you know. And I pretty much, I'm being show busy now, but I got on with everybody pretty much in their individual way. You know, it's like a class at school. You have to do different things with different people. And Zandra Rhodes was lovely. Britt Eklund, I took some photos of, and she said, "Darling, I want you to take more photographs. I like them." Yeah, so I took some pictures of her.
Did you love India, John? Did you love India?
Oh yeah, I mean, I having been there 50 years before, great affection for it, you know. And I'd go back again. There's just so much to see there.
Do you remember when you were taking pictures of the Aurora Borealis and you were in a toilet in the middle of somewhere? You must tell the girls, it's so funny.
It was a wooden hut, and it was about -35 outside. And there was a little heater in there. It was all quite nice and clean, like a sort of, you know, wooden hut. And I couldn't operate the camera with my gloves on, so I'd rush out, take pictures of the Aurora Borealis, and rush back in again. So yeah, that was my base I'm on the top of a mountain. Yeah.
That's hysterical. Can I ask why you were in India 50 years ago?
I didn't get into art school then. I did 2 or 3 years later, so I was a bit disappointed. So I did a job and saved up some money as a student, and went off with 3 male friends. We hitched in 2s right across Europe, into Turkey, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan. I ended up being on my own in India, 1969, 1970, celebrated my 18th birthday at the Madras railway station, which I went back to with this program. And it was great to see that it was still there. I think it was a red and white and black Victorian building, you know. So I was, and it kind of felt like, because I had very formative time for me, because I ended up on my own, hitching around India at the age of 17, 18. I kind of grew up a lot there, and so I felt I was going home in some strange kind of way. I kind of knew it.
And when you came back, when did you started acting then?
No, I didn't. I kind of drifted around a bit. You know, I got into all the old kind of like, you know, having a few of those. Can we say that on this program?
Yes.
A few cigarettes up in London, and just sort of lazing about, listening to Pink Floyd and all the rest of it, and The Who, and then. I got to a point I was working for an Arab oil sheik in Buckinghamshire, not far from my location, actually, Debbie.
As you do. How random.
Not far from our bedroom in the film. And it was called Dropmore Estate, funnily enough. Sounds like something that would carry on, doesn't it? Oh,
yeah.
And it was during that year, working for an Arab oil sheik, that I decided that I had to make a decision about my life. I was about 24. I was going to be rock and roll or acting, and I went for the acting. I rang all these. I couldn't afford drama school, so I rang. I'll recommend this to anybody who can't afford drama school. Just try and get a job in a theatre somewhere and get into the business. So I was an assistant stage manager and flyman, which to the uninitiated is somebody who pulls all the ropes and brings all the scenery in and out when you're watching your pantos or ballets or whatever.
Thank God you did, darling, because that started your career. So thank God. Will you come back and tell us more stories, please, another time?
I'd love to. And there's an audio book out there as well. You could maybe pick a few things out of that.
Oh, fabulous.
Great.
I did that recently, just before the lockdown, actually.
Fabulous.
As you know, like you girls, congratulations. I'm so glad this is a success, you know. And
thank you.
I've been waiting to be asked, you know.
I sense a little bitterness. Please don't feel that.
Not at all. No,
thank you so much.
Love you. Love you.
Thanks, darling.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you, John.
See you soon.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Such fun.
Oh, isn't he lovely?
He's
Absolutely
a lovely man.
So many adventures together. I can't tell you over the years. You know, just thinking about when the kids were little, because you know, from the same place, and we've had a lot of fun. It's a lot of
Wonderful.
fun. We're so lucky, actually, because you know, to have friends like that for all these years.
Yes, we are.
It is. I guess we've been around long enough. That's the sad thing. But yeah.
And strangely, we're all in this very weird time. And it's kind of brought people together more. I mean, we don't want to be in these times, but it has. The camaraderie is amazing now, isn't it? And people that
it is.
You know, you don't necessarily hear from or contact, or everybody seems to pull together now. And you know, we don't know what January is going to bring. Please God, it doesn't bring any worse than this, because I don't know what we'll all do. But
Yeah,
as long as we can all pull together and
we've got each other, and that's
Yeah.
what matters.
Exactly. This is so brilliant, actually, to be able to talk like this 3 times or 4 times. It's just great, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're so lucky. We're really lucky.
And tomorrow we've got Richard.
We have.
We have, and also, I mean, I know this is sort of, we're a bit advanced, but on Monday we've got Brian Capron.
Yes, we have.
So we have had the 2 nastiest people on television in 2 days, and well, 3 days, and also possibly the 2 nicest guys, which is kind of very interesting because they're so exactly the opposite of who they play.
It is strange that,
it is, and I've been, and Stephen Murphy's coming back on Monday as well to talk to us with Brian Capron as well. But I was lucky enough to go sailing with Brian as well. I've been sailing with everybody, and Sherry should have been there, and Harriet should have been there. All of you girls were invited. I'm sorry.
Hashtag next time.
Last year, could I?
Darling, we're free in 2021.
We are,
free
darling, all
forever.
of us.
and there are no boats, and there are no ships going. This is the problem.
I know.
Not yet.
Well,
not yet.
Exactly.
We will see you tomorrow. We should
See
be
you
back
tomorrow with Richard.
And it's
Take
going
care.
to be
Bye.
ghostly stories.
Woo!
Oh yes, ghostly stories.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.